Disposal of wastes. Definition: proper disposition of a discarded or discharged material in accordance with local environmental guidelines or laws. Waste management is the collection, transport, processing, recycling or disposal, and monitoring of waste materials. Solid wastes. The term solid wastes includes garbage, food wastes, rubbish, paper, plastics, wood, metal, throwaway containers, glass, demolition products, bricks, masonry, pipes, sewage treatment residue, dead animals, manure, and other discarded material. Output of daily waste. The output of daily waste depends upon dietary habits, lifestyles, living standards and the degree of urbanization and industrialization. The solid waste produced ranges from 0.25 to 2.5 kilograms in different countries. How does it affect health? It decomposes and favors fly breeding. It attracts rodents. The pathogens may be conveyed back to man's food through flies and dust. Water and soil pollution. An unsightly appearance, bad odors. Incidence of vector-borne diseases. Sources of refuse. Street refuse. Market refuse. Stable litter refuse. Industrial refuse. The domestic refuse. Storage. Galvanized steel dust bin. Paper sack. Public bins. Galvanized steel dust bin. It is a close-fitting cover is a suitable receptacle for storing refuse. In India, we estimate per capita to vary from 1 by 10 to 1 by 20 cubic foot. For a family of 5 members, a bin having a capacity of 5 by 10 or 1/2 cubic foot. Paper sack. A recent innovation in the Western countries is the paper sack. Refuse is stored in the paper sack, and itself is removed. Public bin. Public bins are for a larger number of people. Kept on a concrete platform. It handled and emptied mechanically by lorries fitted with cranes. Collection. Depends upon the funds available. House-to-house collection. India people dump the refuse in the nearest public bin. Transportation of waste. The most common method in India is by truck or train. However, there are also a number of private companies that offer waste transportation services. These companies often have their own fleet of vehicles and equipment that they use to transport waste. Environment Hygiene Committee, 1949. The Environment Hygiene Committee, 1949, recommended that municipalities and other local bodies should arrange for collection of refuse not only from the public bins but also from individual houses. Methods of disposal. The methods of waste disposal are dumping, controlled tipping or sanitary landfill, incineration, composting, manure pits, burial, dumping. Refuse is dumped in low-lying areas. As a result of bacterial action, refuse decreases considerably in volume and is converted gradually into humus. Drawbacks of dumping. The refuse is exposed to files and rodents. Drainage from dumps contributes to the pollution of surface and groundwater. AHU Expert Committee, 1967, condemned dumping as a most insanitary method that creates public health hazards, a nuisance, and severe pollution of the environment. Controlled tipping or sanitary landfill. Controlled tipping or sanitary landfill is the most satisfactory method of refuse disposal where suitable land is available. It differs from ordinary dumping in that we place the material in a trench or other prepared area, adequately compacted, and covered with earth at the end of the working day. The term modified sanitary landfill has been applied to those operations where compaction and covering are accomplished once or twice a week. We use three methods in this operation. 1. The trench method, where level ground is available. A long trench is dug out, 2 to 3 meter, 6 to 10 feet, deep and 4 to 12 meter, 12 to 36 feet, wide, depending upon local conditions. The refuse is compacted and covered with excavated earth. 2. The ramp method. This method is well suited where the terrain is moderately sloping. Some excavation is done to secure the covering material. 3. The area method. We use this method for filling land depressions, disused quarries, and clay pits. The refuse is deposited, packed, and consolidated in uniform layers up to 2 to 2.5 meter, 6 to 8 feet, deep. We sealed each layer on its exposed surface with a mud cover at least 30 centimeters, 12 inches, thick. Such sealing prevents infestation by flies and rodents and suppresses the nuisance of smell and dust. This method often has the disadvantage of requiring supplemental earth from outside sources. Chemical, bacteriological and physical changes occur in buried refuse. The temperature rises to over 60 degrees Celsius within 7 days and kills all the pathogens and hastens the decomposition process. Then it takes 2 to 3 weeks to cool down. Normally it takes 4 to 6 months for complete decomposition of organic matter into an innocuous mass. The bulldozer achieves the tasks of spreading trimming and spreading topsoil. Incineration. Refuse can be disposal of hygienically. It is a method of choice where suitable land is not available. Hospital refuse, which is particularly dangerous, is best disposed of by incineration. Incineration is practiced in several of the industrialized countries. Composting. Composting is a method of combined disposal of refuse and night soil or sludge. It is a process of nature whereby organic matter breaks down under bacterial action, resulting in the formation of relatively stable humus-like material, called the compost, which has considerable manurial value for the soil. The principal byproducts are carbon dioxide, water, and heat. The heat produced during composting, 60 degrees Celsius or higher, over a period of several days destroys eggs and larvae of flies, weed seeds, and pathogenic agents. The end product is a good soil builder containing small amounts of the major plant nutrients, such as nitrates and phosphates. Methods of composting. Bangalore methods, anaerobic method. Mechanical composting, aerobic method. Bangalore methods, hot fermentation process. Indian Council of Agriculture Research at the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. We have recommended it as a satisfactory method of disposal of town wastes and night soil. Trenches are dug 90 centimeters deep, 1.5 to 2.5 meter, 5 to 8 feet, broad and 4.5 to 10 meter, 15 to 30 feet, long. Depths greater than 90 centimeters, 3 feet, are not recommended because of slow decomposition. First layer, 15 centimeters, 6 inch, thick, is spread at the bottom of the trench. Second layer night soil is added corresponding to a thickness of 5 centimeters, 2 inch. Third layer refuse and night soil are added in the proportion of 15 centimeters and 5 centimeters respectively, till the heap rises to 30 centimeters, 1 foot. The top layer should be of refuse, at least 25 centimeters, 9 inch, thickness. After 7 days, heat, over 60 degrees Celsius, is generated in the compost mass. Intense heat which persists over 2 or 3 weeks decompose the refuse and night soil and to destroy all pathogenic and parasitic organisms. After 4 to 6 months, decomposition is complete, and the resulting manure is a well decomposed. Mechanical composting. The entire process of composting is complete in 4 to 6 weeks. This method of composting is in vogue in some of the developed countries, e.g., Holland, Germany, Switzerland, Israel. The government of India is considering plants in selected cities. Cities such as Delhi, Nagpur, Mumbai, Chennai, Pune, Allahabad, Hyderabad, Lucknow, and Kanpur have offered to join the government for setting up pilot plants for mechanical composting. Manure pits. The problem of refuse disposal in rural areas can be solved by digging manure pits by the individual householders. The garbage, cattle dung, straw, and leaves should be dumped into the manure pits and covered with earth after each day's dumping. This method of refuse disposal is effective and relatively simple in rural communities. Burial. For small camps, a trench 1.5 meter wide and 2 meter deep is excavated. We use the contents after 4 to 6 months. Public education. Enforcement of the laws. Less interest. Education methods. Cheapest solution. Economics and finance. If refuse disposal is to be carried out efficiently, hygienically, and economically, heavy capital outlay will be needed whatever system of disposal is adopted. In the highly industrialized countries, up to 20% of municipal budgets. International Corporation. International Solid Wastes and Public Cleansing Association, ISWA, in 1970. EHU International Reference Center Switzerland. Conclusion. Disposal of waste is an important procedure to be followed by an individual in a community. Health professionals need to have a basic knowledge of the subject since improper disposal of wastes constitutes a health hazard. Health professional may be called upon to give advice in some special situations, such as coping with waste disposal problems when there is a disruption or breakdown of community health services in natural disasters. Please like, subscribe and click the bell icon. Thank you for watching video.